2 days later, we find the Hardy family in the magnificent Detroit mansion, which is part of the Leeds estate.
But, James, they tell me this house has 12 bathrooms. Why, that's simply ridiculous. We couldn't possibly use more than 3. 1 bathroom for you and me, and 1 for Marion, and 1 for Andrew.
Well, if we actually inherit the estate, we can lock up the other 9 bathrooms for company.
If we get the money. Well, holy smoke, I thought we had it already.
I've told you it's necessary for me to legally establish my line of descent from Colonel James Standish Leeds.
Father, do you know what I think? I think that lawyer, Mr. Brownell, is going to try and cheat us out of our money.
Now, now look here, everybody. We agreed to consider this a dream until it comes true. Now, that's too much for you. You and Andy can go right back to Carvel at once. Is that understood?
Oh, all right.
All right. But honest, Pop, you ain't treating $2 million with a proper respect.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Hardy. I'm Dobbs the butler at your service. Mr. Brownell has given me my instructions.
Oh. Order dinner, please, and later I'll go over the whole house with you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hardy. Dinner will be served in 5 minutes in the small dining room, madame.
Thank you, Dobbs.
Thank you, Mrs. Hardy. Dinner will be served in 5 minutes in the small dining room, madame. Breakfast in the large dining room, madame. Midnight buffet supper in the colossal dining room, madame. Dad, I guess I was just born to be rich. Say, Dad, who's that guy coming in the front door? Gosh, maybe all this time we've been in the wrong house.
Good afternoon, and excuse me. I'm so accustomed to coming in with my own latchkey, I forgot this time.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know you.
But I'm afraid you do know me by hearsay. I'm Philip Westcott, Mr. Leeds' adopted son, at your service.
Oh, yes, Mr. Westcott.
Oh, Philip, to you, Miss Marion. Mr. Brunell told me about you, but he was wrong. He said you were pretty. You're not pretty, you're beautiful. And this would be Mrs. Hardy, and Andrew, and Judge Hardy. Welcome to Detroit, all of you. And since I'm sort of a 42nd cousin, twice removed and only adopted, I wish you'd all call me Philip.
Why, Philip, you embarrass us. After all, you... I mean, that is, if...
You mean if it weren't for you, I might have inherited Mr. Leeds' estate.
Well, I did sort of anticipate your hiding in the bushes with a shotgun to pick me off.
Oh, nonsense. But I must run along and let you unpack. I merely dropped in to present my respects. The butler has my telephone number. Command me, all of you.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Philip.
I'm going to ask you to show me all the grand shops in Detroit.
And you're going to have to take me through one of those big automobile factories.
At your service. And by the way, Judge, how are you descended from the original James Standish Leeds?
Through his oldest son, Andrew.
His older son, and his name was Andrew? Oh, yes, of course. Well, good day to you all for the time being.
Goodbye. And thanks, Philip.
Goodbye.
Oh, boy. That's what I call a real man of the world. And unless I'm crazy, he knows a lot more than automobile factories.
Hello? Miss McNish's apartment, please. Hello, Consuela. Now, this is Phil. Listen, honey. I've discovered an important fact about Judge Hardy that may mean we get the $2 million after all. But it'll be necessary to make use of young Master Andrew Hardy. Now, that's where you come in. Now, I've let him coax me into introducing him to a chorus girl. So I'm going to bring him to the Paradise tonight. Now, listen carefully.
At 11 p.m., a figure sneaks down the stairway of the palatial Detroit mansion. It is Andy Hardy, who has, of course, kept secret from his parents that he has a date with Philip. Andy does not know that Judge Hardy is in the library wrestling with a bitter problem that involves the whole future of the Hardy family. Andy is almost to the front door when...
Who's that? Oh, is that you, Andy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're going out somewhere?
Oh, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
And wearing your festive attire.
Well, if you mean my tuxedo and opera hat, that's what I got him for to wear, didn't I?
You're going out with Philip, I presume?
Why not?
I haven't discussed Philip with you, Andy, but you think he's the right sort of companion for you?
The right sort of companion? Why, gee, Daddy wears silk underwear Sundays and weekdays.
Oh, I see. But isn't it rather late to be starting out?
Well, maybe it'd be late in Carvel, but it's different now.
What's the different, Andy?
Well, look at what I was in Carvel and what I am today.
Uh-huh. And what are you today?
Well, I got a whole new viewpoint on life. Now, don't give me any more of that stuff about $2 million not making any difference to people. Maybe it don't make any difference to you. You're old. You've been used to being poor all your life. You couldn't change even if you wanted to. But me, I'm just starting out in life. You know, Dad, this money's all going to be mine someday, and, well, I got to learn to do the kind of things that a guy with $2 million has got a right to do.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's unless, of course, you should forbid me to go out now and meet Philip in my tuxedo and opera hat.
No, Andy. We don't forbid things in our family.
Okay. Well, put yourself in my place, and you'll realize that $2 million makes an awful difference in what a guy does. Good night, Pop.
And so in the Paradise Cafe, young Andy Hardy catches his first glimpse of chorus girls.
Oh, boy. Look at those girls. Say, Phil, look at what they're wearing. Say, how long has this been going on?
The show? Oh, about 3 months.
No. I mean the girls wearing, you know, what we're looking at now. Phil, look at that chorus girl. She's like, she's winking. She's winking at me.
She surely is. And you're a lucky man, Andy. That's Consuela McNish, the most popular chorus girl in town.
But why is she winking at me?
Now, don't be modest.
Oh, of course I won't say I'm poison ivy to the women. Boy, look at those girls. They're dancing right around the tables. Say, what's this?
That looks to me suspiciously like a note.
Why should she put a note on our table?
She dropped it in front of you, Andy. Why don't you read it and find out?
All right. But it can't be for me, but I guess it is. Phil, it says, listen, will you have supper with me at my apartment after the show? And it's signed Consuela McNish.
How do you do it, Andy?
You mean I'm going to have supper with a chorus girl in her own apartment? And after midnight?
Well, that's what it looks like to me.
Oh, but how did she know I was coming here? Do you suppose somebody told her?
No. She probably looked the place over and picked out the man that appealed to her most.
Well, I'll say she's an awful quick picker. Phil, I feel as if I'd said goodbye to childhood forever. Andrew Hardy, the chorus girl's plaything.
Well, folks, the big questions are, what happens when the adventurous young Andy Hardy gets to Consuela's apartment? Does Philip's plot against the family succeed? Do the Hardys get the $2 million? And when these questions are all answered, one tragic problem remains for Andy Hardy. How can he talk his father out of $175? Believe me, I'm terribly anxious to know the answers, as most of you are. So I can't wait until I see Judge Hardy's family in The Hardys Ride High with Louis Stone, Mickey Rooney, Cecelia Parker, Fay Holden, Ann Rutherford, and Sarah Hayden. It will be at your favorite theater next week. I know you won't miss it. Once again, our lovely singing star, Miliza Korjus, who returns to sing Bizet's Tarantella.